What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mike and Dave Hit Stage. I am Mike.
I happen to be Dave, and today we have... Anybody?
Mike the Angry Dwarf.
Sorry, John.
What?
What?
What the hell?
What?
Well, we have Mike again this week. This week we're going to be doing the 90s.
I actually referred to this as 90s style.
90? Did you just crack 90s style?
I think so. It's been a day.
So anyway, yeah, 90s is I guess it's like the wheelhouse of where we grew up. I mean, technically we were,
We were
we were
wandering.
80s. Yeah, we were 80s
80s
kids. But the 90s is where we,
when
where we
started
grew up.
when we came into our own.
Right.
Really.
So
In 1990, I was 9 years old.
God damn it. I was
So
starting
you were
high school.
13.
I was starting high school.
So 13, 14, right?
Yeah, 14.
Th-
I was
13.
13.
So yes, that is a big difference
Yeah.
when we look back at it. But that time in our lives is very formative, and that's why
Oh,
these
yeah.
songs kind of
Yeah, with this list, I just went back to songs that take me to that time.
yes.
That was like I just not like, hey, this song came out in 1994, so I happen to like it. But
Oh yeah. But
it's-
these songs also like made us who we are, I think. Right? It's
To an extent, yeah.
and there was so many, again, like every list we make, there was so many I could have put on this.
yeah, same here.
And I tried to pick ones that this first batch of them would be almost the songs that like we did the songs that got you into a
Into
new
the
genre.
Yeah.
These are the songs that I picked that like when I heard them I was like, holy crap.
I can get that.
So that's the way I started this 90s group, because there was some songs you guys put on and I'm like, shit.
Like they were
That
good.
was a good, yeah, that's a
Okay.
good.
That must have been Mike's because mine are.
No, mine are pretty eclectic. Well, I know there's one that I put on there that I know you were like, yeah.
And there's one on there that we're gonna get to right now, and I went, "What the? You had to put Rush on there?
Yes.
First song.
90s.
I have no complaint about it being Rush.
Of course you don't.
It's this song. I just don't like it.
So,
Well,
go ahead.
the song is Dreamline from Rush. So, most likely, this is probably one of the first Rush songs that I heard knowing who Rush was, if that makes any kind of
Okay.
sense. And this is back in the Z-Rock days when AM 1480, they would always play this.
Did they play Rush?
This and Roll the Bones, because back then, like this was 91,
Yeah.
there was no hard rock metal station on the air in New York.
Right.
You had 102.7, which was classic rock.
Right.
And you had 92.3, which
Right.
was classic rock.
Yeah.
And 104.3 didn't exist yet.
Yeah.
So all we had was Z-Rock. So this is what, so this is like the first thing that I heard of
And
knowing what
and
like,
SOU, but SOU wouldn't play.
right. They played some stuff.
They
but,
played Rush. They wouldn't play Rush.
No.
No, I don't think so.
No. 89.5 back then? No. They
Yeah.
weren't
Okay.
playing Rush.
But so with this one, so it's like I was trying to figure out, because again, this is something that formed me musically, a band that formed me musically.
Yeah.
Like I originally, I was like, man, I gotta put Dream Theater on here, because I remember the first time I heard Pull Me Under again on Z-Rock, I was like, jaw on the floor, what the fuck is this? But this one hit me a little bit more, because at the same time, it was like one of those things, like, you know how it is, like you're a kid, you remember the thing, then you forget about it, then
Right.
you pick up the tape later on. And then it's one of those things that, like, the reason this song really stuck out for me is I remember when I was finishing up in high school, they were doing the, the stupid yearbook and this and that, whatever.
Right.
And, me being freaking all smart and intelligent and pseudo-intelligent that you are as a snot-nosed shit at that age.
Did you pretend to be intelligent, or
Yes, I pretended to be. But,
Right.
they were asking for quotes from people, and they ended up scrapping it, apparently, because some people were putting some ridiculous shit in there. And my
Yeah.
quote was, when we are young, wandering the face of the earth,
Right.
wondering what our dreams might be worth, learning we're only immortal
Right.
for a limited time,
And
which
that
is
was-
the chorus of this song.
Okay.
That's why
Which is
this
a cool
is on
chorus.
there. And this song is pretty much just like, the almost, like, I'm looking at it like that, like, you're wasting your, like, I don't want to say you're wasting your youth, but
Or youth is wasted on the young.
yeah, exactly.
Now that we're old and cranky, we can
Yeah.
say it.
Yeah.
Holy shit, is it true? Yeah. It's sad.
And that's pretty much what it breaks down to. And again, like I said, all the songs I put on this list, I know some of you guys are gonna roll your eyes at them.
No, but
Not
you know
nearly as
it's
many
funny
as you expect.
is when I say that I put songs on here that that kind of blew me away It doesn't. I'm just not a Rush fan.
Right.
You know?
I get it, but it's also lyrically their stuff is heavy.
Yeah, lyrically, this actually that chorus actually sat really well with me.
Yeah.
But I'm like I said, I'm not a huge Rush fan. I did not love this song, but the chorus is good.
Yeah.
But it is Rush, and they're iconic for a reason.
Right.
And at this point, they had been 25 years into their career.
74.
So somewhere in the 20-year range.
Yeah.
So 20 plus years into their career, and they're still coming out with new interesting
Just
stuff.
shy of 20.
So
Okay.
Well,
Sorry,
they're not coming out with new stuff anymore.
no, unfortunately, Neil
Neil
Peart died.
Peart's passed away, and they pretty much stopped before that because he was just in.
Right. He couldn't do it
He,
anymore, right?
he didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Was he sick already? Did he know he was sick, or
He didn't know. From what I understand, they didn't know that he didn't know he was sick.
Yeah.
But he had a lot of like back issues, shoulder
Yeah.
issues, stuff with problems like that, and
A lot of the issues that come with playing drums for a living.
and
Yeah.
the way that he played.
Right.
Going back to the conversation before about somebody that would play through the drum.
Yeah.
And this man was a fucking machine.
Yeah.
Like just the look of concentration. Yeah. The look of concentration on his face, everything was planned out,
Right.
and he played it identical day after day after day.
Right, yeah.
he was just that goddamn good.
Uh-huh.
The guys who sound like the album
Yeah.
in the good way.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't sound like they're playing backing tracks. It sounds like they're playing it perfectly every time.
And also, when I've seen them play this song live more times than I can count, and 3 guys, they make it sound like the album.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say there's no backing tracks, but everything that's going on in the background is being played by the band.
Uh-huh.
So he's triggering things on the drums. The guitar player is playing keyboard parts on his feet with his feet. The bass player is playing keyboard parts with his feet while he's playing bass and singing.
Yeah.
And sometimes playing keyboard as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So everybody's doing more than one job.
Yeah.
And this is what, even though I'm not a huge Rush fan, you recognize the ultimate effort put behind a band. I hope that hand smells like feet. Go ahead, tell people what you just did.
An itch.
Stuck his hand down his pants like he's looking for change.
Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway.
So there you go. This is one song that just screams 90s to
Oh,
me.
it does.
On top of the keyboard sounds used and everything else, but whatever.
Now, to bring it around to the next entry,
Uh-huh.
this is Hum. This is Mike's call.
Yeah.
Hum with the song Stars.
Yes.
Um,
Go ahead.
I don't have a lot to knock about this.
Yeah.
It sounds like 1993.
Thank you.
I think it is 1993.
Well, that's, my notes. This song is so 90s.
Okay.
Between the chord progressions used, the changes, the guitar tone, the drum sound, everything.
And that is not an insult.
I think, I don't think, I know, this is one of my favorite songs of all time.
Okay. I can definitely hear why it would be.
There is a guy on TikTok, his name is Jacob Givens, right? And he's about our age. And he does
So old.
Yeah, in his 40s, I would say, but he does these videos of when he heard a song for the first time, and it's all 90 songs. And he did this one, and he hits it right on the head, because you know how it starts? It starts off nice and low, and then it comes in, and
It's a crash.
it blows you away, right? He did that where he's talking to himself, and it's like playing, and he's like, "What's this?" And it's a Hum Stars, and I'm like, "Oh, I kind of like it. It's nice and mellow." And then when it comes in, they show he gets blown away. He's got soot on his face, and his hair's all, and that's how it felt. Because I heard this the first time I was working at I worked at a cemetery for 2 years, and I always had my headphones on because I was doing stuff. I did landscaping. What the fuck are you laughing at?
I'm controlling myself.
Why? Because I worked in a cemetery?
No, in the previous 2 podcasts, I've had something to say about Kevin Gilbert, and my brain was, please don't dig up the
Come on. So anyway, it came out to. I heard it while I was landscaping at the cemetery, and that's how it felt. It was so boom, and the guitar sound, the drum sound, it's so crisp,
and verbose.
And you know, it's not what he's saying. I don't get this one. Actually, the lyrics don't really matter to me. I like the lyrics, but this is more musical to me.
Okay.
You know, go ahead.
Okay, no, also, one thing I caught on the song listening to it, because, again, this is the way that I always do. I just, it's like, the guys, they're using almost like the Smashing Pumpkins
Ooh, okay.
progressions.
All right.
Because listen to the way that, like, it's just, like, I can't explain it right. It's like when certain artists they get into their wheelhouse, they have, like, the changes they normally use,
Right.
or a certain way of doing things. It's like you can tell this. I'm not knocking it. It's not
Yeah.
meant as a knock at all. But he's doing it the Smashing Pumpkins way. It's like
I never thought of it that
Like-
way, but I definitely hear it now.
like
Yeah.
our old guitar player Mike. Yes, another Mike.
So many mics.
Yeah. When me and him were jamming, he was into Smashing Pumpkins, and he would do things like that's why I picked up on it. He
The
would do
progression,
things,
the
a certain way of doing it, or maybe just a certain choice in chord,
Right, yeah.
like adding an extra note into it to
Yeah.
make it a little bit of a minor diminished or something else to change, just to add a little extra flavor to it.
yeah.
And that's what they're doing. It's freaking great,
Yeah.
but it just differentiates it more from other stuff of the same era.
Yeah. Yeah. I could
It's
definitely
really-
hear that.
It's really a fun song.
Yeah.
Like we joked about previous lists about songs trying to sound fun and just not, or
Yeah.
just sounding completely crap. This is not that.
Yeah.
This is like it's literally
Right.
the 90s.
And this
90s
is
alt rock.
this was
in a- in
their
a
only hit. I don't think they had. I don't know if they had another one. You know, but this is the one that has stuck around, at least for me.
Yeah.
You know, and it's on my it's in my playlist, and it plays at least once a month. You know, in my rotation
Yeah.
when I hit shuffle or
yeah.
whatever. You
Was
know,
this a 104.3 song?
no, this was a K-Rock song.
Okay. But 104.3 was modern rock at this point.
No, this was
Yes,
no,
yeah,
no,
uh-huh.
no. It was classic rock already.
Yeah, that was classic rock.
Yeah,
104.3 was still doing modern rock in 95. This song came out in 95.
Sure.
Yep.
Well, whatever it is. No, but this is a K-Rock song. This was 92.3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because 104.3 started, I think, like, I want to say 93, 94.
Yeah.
And they were still doing the modern rock at this point.
I thought they were always classic rock.
Nah.
Am I?
No, they switched back to classic rock.
They
Ah.
switched to classic rock when 92.3 switched to modern rock.
Yeah.
So this would have been
I don't
104.
know.
They went to go after what 102.7 was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is such a New York conversation.
Yeah,
I
I know. And then keep in mind, we live in a city that has no rock stations.
Anymore, yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing left.
Unless you count 104.3 playing the same 7 songs
Yeah.
over and over again.
Or SOU. out of
SOU,
New
which- yeah.
Jersey.
I haven't been able to pick that up in decades.
Really? You live in a
Yeah.
city?
I know, but I just haven't been
I can
able
pick
to.
it up from my house.
I can pick it up from my house too. Yeah.
then again, I
barely,
don't
but I
think-
can hear it.
I haven't had a radio
Yeah.
in decades either.
That's why we have the car.
Cars,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when my car starts, it goes to the radio and it automatically goes to SOU because I don't really feel like listening to anything else.
Yeah.
Then it switches over to what I like to my phone and
Yeah.
my Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting. The next one, Plowed by Sponge.
Yes.
This is off the album Rotting Pinata. This is 1994. I heard this in 1995. This was 8th grade for me.
Okay.
So you guys were.
I already graduated high school.
No.
I was graduating.
1985? Yes, I did. If you heard it,
95.
94, I graduated high school.
Yeah.
So spring of 95, you graduated high school?
I graduated high school in 94.
Did you?
Yeah.
You old piece of
I
shit.
I told
graduated
you.
in 95.
Just like taking cheap shots. So yeah, this was my 8th grade. Like I got into, this was the time where I got a little into Green Day
Yeah.
and Sponge
Yeah.
and Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah.
And this song has stuck with me since the first time I heard it.
Uh-huh.
The album that this is on, Rotting Pinata,
Yeah.
every track is part of the collection. None of them will ever be skipped.
Yeah.
Miles, 16 Candles, Nina
Oh,
Menashe,
shit. I never realized all the songs they had.
and that's one
Yeah.
album. They have 5 albums.
Do they? I would
before
never
the year
know.
2000.
What?
They have 5 albums before the year 2000.
Uh-huh.
And then they did, I think, like 2 or 3 more. Their guitarist died 2 years ago,
Oh, God. Okay.
unfortunately. But they've been around forever, and
Yeah.
they've been playing this whole time.
The funny thing with these 90s songs is that it was the radio era for us because there was no well, there were CDs, but
There were
I-
CDs,
I
but
had
there was
for
no,
us it was we couldn't
there was no file sharing.
right.
There was no YouTube.
Right. So it was
was-
all radio stuff. It was all and at this time, like I said, I was starting to work. So I was working at delis and I was and and at the
was everywhere
cemetery. And so I would always have my headphones on or a radio on, and it was always on K Rock because there was nothing else. It was either that or SOU. SOU at work, I couldn't listen to it because oh my God, you're listening to heavy metal, and people couldn't take it. So it would be K Rock, and it would be these songs, but I never bought the album. Like, it's so funny. Like why wouldn't I buy this album?
Oh, I bought this on cassette, and then I bought it on CD.
But it's so funny because I guess at the time it wasn't my...
It wasn't in your wheelhouse. I mean, it...
Right, but if you look at some of the songs I have on here, you wouldn't think of it either, But I bought those albums.
Right.
So it's so weird. Like this one, but the funny thing is, that's what I'm saying, is that you brought up the songs that were on there, and I was like, holy shit, I know every one of those. And the funny thing about the 90s is that there were a lot of bands like that. John the Doorman gave me... they were giving away Third Eye Blind tickets at Castle one time at the door, and
they couldn't sell them.
I was about to say it was so fun. No, at Castle they couldn't get rid of them because nobody wanted them.
Yeah.
So
That's
at the
not
end
the
of the night,
crowd for Third Eye Blind.
I forget how it came up, but maybe we were one of the last people to leave or whatever. But John asked me, he was like, "Do you want the tickets?" And I was like, "Fuck it, it's a free show. I'll go." And I went to that
Free
Third
for
Eye
me.
Blind show, and again, I was like, "Yay, I'm going to see Third Eye Blind." One, I had a great time, and second, I didn't know I knew how so many fucking Third Eye Blind songs, But listen, a free show is a free show.
Free shows.
And a lot of times when I go, oh God, I'm about to see this person, I'm actually impressed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you gotta understand, even though you don't like something,
Doesn't mean it's not good.
it's still, but it's still musicians up there doing what they do.
And that's what I feel about Rush. It's not. I don't like them,
Yeah.
but I love what they do, and I
No.
love how they do it.
Well, that's the funny thing
respect
is
the hell out of it.
that well, this is going to come out after we've seen the Winery Dogs, but I don't know. I'm going to listen to it, but when we go, I'm not going to know it, but I'm going to enjoy just watching.
Well,
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the thing is also with that band in particular,
Yeah.
Winery Dogs, they put on a show.
Yeah.
On top of that,
Yeah.
Portnoy, you've never
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
Theater Live, but you've seen videos,
Right.
So all the craziness that he's
Right,
doing,
right,
that
right.
I tried doing over the years, he's doing that.
Yeah.
Billy Sheehan is a freaking octopus on the freaking bass,
Right.
His
and
hands are everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like he's molesting it.
and Kotzen he's more subdued.
Uh-huh.
He's the most subdued of the three of them, but he's just playing and singing his ass
Yeah.
off.
So I'm interested to. I can't wait to see. I'm excited.
All right, so yeah, if you haven't checked, at least if you're going to check out Sponge, check out their first album, Rotting Pinata. It is a '90s rock masterpiece. It is one of my favorite. That is a Desert Island album for me.
Yeah. Okay.
100%. That is one of those ones. I used to have the CD on me when I had CDs.
Yeah.
all the time, and it was in my constant rotation. It still is.
Yeah.
Now, one thing on the musician side of things on this song that I loved, I don't know if it just happened to be the copy that I got my hands on, and with the headphones I have at work, listening to it, I have it cranked up. You can hear the click track in the background when they're starting
Very
the song.
slightly.
Very slight,
It's
and I
just-
loved. I don't know
Yeah?
why I
It
loved
bled
that.
through on something.
I
click
have
track
never
the
heard.
click track was bleeding through, and then there's a little bit of a break, and then you hear the guy clicking the hi-hat in time with the guitar, and that's something that is not,
I gotta listen to it again.
and also that click at the beginning where the guy's just playing, like he's just keeping Christ,
Yeah.
just keeping time on the song, like for the guitar player.
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore.
Right.
Think
Everything's
about
done
anything
digital.
new. They would just go in, hit a button, and erase that.
Yeah.
Again, this is maybe to me like maybe after 2000 something, music started kind of getting meh.
Yeah.
For the most part, because this is organic. That's the only way I can explain it.
Right.
Well, there's also it's the idea of analog warmth. It's something in the background that you can hear. There's a room to the music. That's also why we don't add reverb to this, because we're recording in a room. It's 3 mics. It's gonna pick up the room,
Yeah.
and we're not using like isolated mics.
Yeah.
So we get a little bit of the room reflection in the background.
And the sirens and the
Yeah, unfortunately, we
Airplanes.
get
And the
sirens
dive bombers.
yeah.
and screaming children in the streets. My parents yelling at each other. No, we don't get that. So yeah, it's very indicative of the time. I love this album. I've played at least something from this for everyone I know. There's actually a music video for this, but it's not official. It's from an anime. Somebody cut up an anime
And put this to it.
Put this to it, and it mixed really well.
Yeah.
and it's a very disturbing anime. not one of the creepy tentacle ones.
Okay.
It's more of a violent and then a lot of religious themes kind of anime.
Okay.
Next, we're going to talk about Bad Guy by Dangerous Toys.
I'm waiting for the hatred.
I actually don't like this song at all, but I don't have enough to like
Base it on?
blitz it.
Yeah.
Like I can't say fucking hate it.
I-
I hope they die in a fire. I can't say that. I just didn't like the song
But
that much.
you guys are gonna hate me, but when I hear that song, all I think of is Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
And actually, this is a perfect time to promote The Ouija. My friend Luigi has a band called The Ouija. One of the songs that they have
Is Bad Guy?
is Bad Guy by Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
No vocals, jazz improvisational.
Oh, yeah, I got to take a listen to that. That sounds
Look them
cool.
up on Bandcamp. Weege.
Yeah.
The Ouija.
The Ouija.
They're very cool.
So
We love you, Luigi. So yeah, Dangerous Toys. Which, by the way, please don't use weird objects as sex toys. It's so dangerous.
So I didn't know they were making music. Weren't they an 80s band?
The first album I want to say was 88, 89.
Oh, okay.
This one was This album I want to say was 91.
Are they still around?
Actually,
Wait, so you're telling me this came out the same year as the Black Album?
yes, because I remember.
Now I hate it.
I remember I was in New Orleans
Yeah.
visiting my father when the Black Album came out,
Yeah.
and they had and Z Rock was a national radio station.
Yeah.
And they had a oh my god, not subsidiary, whatever, like a satellite station there,
Syndicate.
yeah, a syndicated station
Yeah.
there, and they would play they'd play Enter Sandman once every hour.
Yeah.
At that point, and I was there when it was released.
Yeah.
But one of the other songs on this album, "Gimme No Lip," was also getting played a lot while I was down there, so that's why I know it was 91.
Yeah.
For sure. And like again, 90s. I'm just taking stuff that takes me back to then when, me and my friends, freaking 14 years old, 15 years old, being freaking jackasses, being stupid, walking from Jackson Heights to Queens Center, and I bought this freaking tape at the Sam Goody outside of the mall before it was even in the mall. And everything, and then learning to play drums. I would go down. This was one of the first albums that I would sit down, put in the tape deck, put on the headphones,
Yeah.
and play the album from start to finish.
I have to ask this
Straight
question.
through.
Was it those headphones?
No, it
Those
was
are the ones you used to play drums.
not at that time. The ones I had were like not nowhere near as good, and I actually had a bandana tied around them to keep them from slipping off.
Those don't look very far from that.
Yeah. But,
Mike is using some very like aviator headphones.
yeah, they're 30 some odd decibel noise reduction. That's
Oh
why.
Jesus!
But
'Cause it's so
yeah,
loud in here.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so
Deafening.
It's the only headphones I have that have a wire anymore. But still, that's
New
what
millennium.
it was. That's what it was. And even like a couple of years ago, when the Pigeons would get ready to do a show again, whatever, this song, like I would go to the studio and basically, because I had stopped playing for a while, teach myself to play again.
Yeah.
This song was one of the songs on the list. Actually, half that album was on the playlist of stuff just to get into it, just for the exercise. And this song is actually, as a drummer, painful because your right foot never stops the entire time. Eighth note straight through, nonstop.
Which is funny because "Sign of the Southern Cross" by Black Sabbath is how I get this hand kind of
Warmed
in
up.
shape,
Yeah.
and then War Pigs is how I get this hand in shape, the left hand,
Okay.
because it's constantly there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
That's how I bring my hands back up to speed when I'm trying to get fast again, and then I go into the death metal stuff or the speed metal
Yeah.
kind of stuff. I think everyone has their method of building themselves back up to where they want to
Yeah,
be.
mine is auto asphyxiation.
Please don't. Please
You
don't.
missed a word.
I
Yeah, you
know.
missed
I
erotic.
left it. I left it.
It's
I
not
left it
erotic
out.
when he
Yeah,
does it. It's
not,
necessary.
Oh my god.
I almost got him to spit soda. Please don't chokesterbate. Call a hooker. Get somebody else to help you. Anyway, back to the list. Now we have to talk about My Name is Jonas by Weezer.
Yes.
This song reminds me of the conspiracy theory.
What?
There's a conspiracy theory out there that the singer from Nirvana
Okay.
faked his own death
And
changed his
became
name
Rivers
to Rivers
Cuomo.
and that would explain why I like this as little as I like Nirvana.
Okay. Whatever.
That's
Okay,
That's
I'm,
his
no, 'cause I'm not like, this is your pick?
No.
fucking hate Weezer.
No. Listen.
Cheers.
I dislike Weezer now. Dislike, not hate.
Yes.
because now they just put out music just to put it out. But this album and their second album, Pinkerton, are great. This album is different from every other, like the music that came out. I think this came out in '94, right? It is '94, yeah, because
93, 94.
yeah. So getting to your point, a couple of lists ago, how I picked that one song because they said Dungeons and Dragons in it. This album, have you listened to the Blue album from Weezer?
I heard bits and pieces of it 30 years ago.
They have a song called "In the Garage," where he talks about basically everything in his garage. He's got Kiss posters, and they play D&D, and he's got a 20-sided die,
Pictures of two homeless guys making out.
Yeah, whatever. And but
shotgun.
But this song is the opening song of the album, and it's another one of those songs that like hit you in the face. When it starts up, it just comes in and it hits you in the face, and that's what and it was grungy, and it is
grungy,
heavy.
It is heavy.
Yeah.
I hate his voice. I really do. I like it as little as I like Nirvana, and I did not like Nirvana.
Really, you didn't like Nirvana?
Me either.
I know it's sacrilege.
No, it's not.
A lot of people consider that like music sacrilege.
No,
I didn't.
no.
I didn't. And I like Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
I don't like. I just don't like Nirvana.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you don't like fucking Foo Fighters. I'm gonna kick you out the
Foo
window.
Fighters, well, I have no negative opinions.
Right.
I'm not super into what they did.
Yeah.
They had some great songs.
They do have great songs.
By the way, I saw them. Jesus, it's got to be about almost 15 years ago at Madison Square Garden, and they blew me away.
I can imagine
They were so good.
Everything I've seen that Dave Grohl has done, he puts
Everything he has
3,000%
into
And when he came out, he was like, "Thanks for sticking with us for 20 years." I went, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
And that was 15 years ago from when I saw them. From now, so oh my god, they've been around for over 30 years.
Yeah, time flies.
When I saw Dave Grohl talking about ripping off the Gap Band for the intro to Smells Like Teen Spirit, I'm like, he's a genius. Because really, musicians steal from each other.
Right.
They take bits and pieces and make it their own. There's a Scott Ian quote that if you didn't rip off something from Black Sabbath, you've made a mistake.
Yeah.
And then it's completely true. You have to take from somewhere. And he has these disco beats that he uses in modern rock drumming.
Yeah.
And it's perfect. But I hate Kurt Cobain.
Yeah. All right.
I was never into the entire grunge movement. That
Yeah.
thing, it never did anything.
I
for
think
me.
that's why I didn't listen to Soundgarden.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't
Well,
appreciate it.
Same
all
thing.
these bands had great like first and second albums, and then like Soundgarden's first album sounds nothing like you'd hear from their first album to Black Hole Sun. It's a completely different band.
Yeah. But that's an evolution. These
Yeah.
guys evolve or devolve depending
And
on how
also
you look at it.
sometimes depending on the situation, the first out, like depending on how it went with the first album, second album, they would have producers come in and tell them and change things and tell them how to do things and change things up. And then by the time they got to the third, fourth, they got, depending on how well they sold and yada yada yada, they had more creative control on their own.
Yeah.
With that.
Or being left out to rot, depending on how you look at it. Because when grunge kicked in, Warrant talked about before grunge, they had the big poster Cherry Pie in their
Was it Elektra or
Elektra
Atlantic?
Records. Just at the front desk, there's a big poster of Cherry Pie, and the next time he went after Nirvana came out,
It was Alice in
gone.
Chains.
It was Alice in Chains.
Oh yeah.
They were
Yeah.
forgotten about.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's that they killed hair metal.
Yeah, but the thing is, you listen to the album that Warrant came out after that. Dog Eat Dog is actually
it's a brutal album.
it's a pretty good album.
So Dog Eat Dog, right? There's a New York
Hardcore
Brooklyn
band.
band. There's a Brooklyn band
Yeah.
called Dog Eat Dog. So when they made an album called Dog Eat Dog's next album was called Warrant.
That's kind of funny.
I
though.
really respect that.
It is.
because it's not. They weren't like they fucking stole
No,
our name.
They had fun with. They had fun with it.
And it wasn't like fuck you guys. It was just like, oh, all right, Warrant.
That's cute. That's a cute.
Yeah.
Instead of a fuck you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. So you don't like Weezer? It's cool.
So now
A lot of people didn't like their second album. Pinkerton didn't get big until way later because their sound was completely different.
which album is Buddy Holly on?
This one.
That's the blue one.
Okay,
Yeah, the
just
first
so
one.
you know, I had to build one of my computers here, and when you installed Windows 95, guess what came included on it?
What?
A copy of fucking Buddy Holly.
Why? On what?
Yeah.
On what program?
Windows.
Why am I
It was
popping?
built in because
Yeah.
you're too close.
No.
So it came with that, and it came with there was another random video, but that video was part of the install for it was part of the install system for Windows 95 First Edition.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't start building PCs till after that. That's why.
It was so fucking annoying because you had to use it to test the sound card, and yeah, I fucking hate that song,
All right.
and that's why one of the reasons I hate fucking Weezer.
Okay.
So now we're gonna move on to Alanis Morissette,
The song of 1995.
the song of 1995, also featuring a member of the Foo Fighters.
Live, not in
Live, not
studio.
recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taylor Hawkins
Yeah.
playing drums for Alanis Morissette.
Yeah.
On tour after the first album and right up to the second, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. And Taylor Hawkins. Who hates Taylor Hawkins?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Nobody I know of.
I've never heard anyone say "fuck that guy." And he was right there with Dave Grohl as being an amazing drummer,
Yeah.
and a super charismatic guy. I feel so bad that his career and life were cut short by drugs.
Yeah.
Please don't do drugs. And that's not a joke. There's
Yeah.
no joke to
no,
this.
No.
Stay away.
And with it still on the Taylor Hawkins thing, it's just the concerts, watching his son play the
Yes,
song.
that was
Oh my
gut-wrenching, yeah.
fucking god!
Son playing, and then watching
Dave Grohl break down.
Dave
Yeah.
Grohl break down, and watching Wolfgang Van Halen playing. I'm a huge Wolfgang fan. I know everyone talks shit because he was the reason they never brought Michael Anthony back into Van Halen, but he's so good, and his writing on his own
It's fantastic.
is solid. I mean, it's so good. I know you haven't heard it.
Yeah.
I can honestly play something for you later. It's awesome. I'll give you something to listen to on the car ride home. It's so worth it. Alanis Morissette, this album, it's another one of those albums that just, it's very 90s. It is the album of 1995, and
Come on, say it.
Dave Coulier.
Thank you.
I know it's about Dave Coulier. Everybody knows it's
Uncle
about Dave
Joey.
Coulier. Uncle Joey got his dick sucked in a theater. Good on you, buddy.
Yeah. I sent you the interview with him and Jimmy.
Him discovering it was about him.
Oh no, he goes. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
She was Alanis Morissette was in 4 episodes of Nickelodeon's You Can't Do That on Television.
Only 4?
Yeah, she's on 4 or 5.
Yeah.
You know, it ran from like 87 to like 94.
I remember I used to watch it when I was a kid.
The first time we got cable in this house, I watched Nickelodeon for 3 days straight because I didn't know what else to watch.
It's so cool.
I was like, this is awesome. And it was written by children. You
Yes.
Can't Do That on Television was written by kids.
By the cast members.
by
I
the
think.
cast members.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Then again, I didn't have cable till
Till
2000 something.
But it was incredible. And Alanis Morissette was only in for a few episodes because she was Canadian. It was filmed in
Right.
Canada. You know, Canada,
Yeah,
where the snow
and the round bacon.
and your round bacon. You liars, that's ham. Talking to you, Mark.
And
He doesn't even listen.
I don't know. We got to send him. I was actually talking to him last night. We got to send him the link.
Oh, I will.
Because I was going to send him the iTunes link, and then I realized
No, just
I'll-
send him
I'll
the
send him the
website.
I couldn't remember what it was off the top
It's,
of my
everything's on
Really?
there.
head. Yeah, I'm stupid. But funny thing with this one, back in it was around Christmas. Obviously around Christmas. It was winter of '95. A bunch of us that were working together. One guy got a bunch of tickets for the Z100 Jingle Ball,
Okay.
and Alanis Morissette was playing
Back when it
and-
was rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like I was actually the first person out of my circle of friends that had the tape.
Yeah.
Not CD yet, but the actual tape. And I played the living hell out of it. And when we went to go see it, it was like, yeah, Dave Matthews, you had her, Natalie Merchant.
Dave Matthews back then, yeah.
Yeah.
Dave Matthews is responsible for my worst concert experience.
He ruined my birthday. I think we talked about
Yeah,
this.
and
He ruins a lot of birthdays.
Yeah.
oh my god, Goo Goo Dolls was there. I'm trying to remember one of the other bands that's on this list. I drawn a blank on it. Soul Asylum
Yeah.
was playing. But the thing is, so you have Alanis Morissette. She's the star of the show,
Right.
For her, well, of that 5-song set. She gave the drummer a solo, and she jumped back behind the kit, and she's messing around. Oh, sorry, that was me. And she's messing around on the floor tom while he's going off.
Yeah.
And she gave the guitar player an extended solo.
Huh, all
I'm
right.
like, this is fucking cool.
Well, she's
No,
a
but that's-
she's a writer's musician.
Yeah.
Like she's very into performance and writing. Everyone who worked with her said she's a joy to work with, including Kevin Smith, because who doesn't? When she played God,
She's also
in Dogma.
God. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't really go wrong with Alanis Morissette. She's
No.
just too. She's too sweet.
Yes.
Yeah, we're kissing. We're just kissing ass when it comes to
Yeah.
I know.
Well, it's actually I'm a little mad at your next choice
Why?
because it's not the song I wanted. Drop Dead Gorgeous by Republica.
Yeah.
It is
baby.
very 90s,
Oh yeah.
but it is not ready to go.
Okay.
It is a drive. This whole album is a driving album.
Yes.
Holy crap.
Very much so.
I get on a highway with this and I want to
Go through
drive
a
people
wall.
off the fucking road.
I swear I thought he was going to say I want to drive into a tree. Like Billy Joel.
Or like Mark Bolan.
So
Oh,
this was there were two songs that Mike and I wanted to cover for UFK. It was this and their other one, Ready to Go.
Yeah.
Ready to Go is awesome.
Yeah. And there's two styles of Ready to Go. There's like
Yeah.
the European one and, the American one.
mix. The American mix is a lot more guitar to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the European mix is a lot more dancey.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the funny thing with this is like the way I found this is like back in like 94, it was like 95 or 96.
Yeah.
When it came out, there was this weird UHF station, like Channel 35 or something. It was like Video Jukebox.
Yes.
Or some crap like that. So I'd come
box.
home. Yeah, I'd come home from work or even from like Castle Heights
Yeah.
or whatever and just put the TV on. And this came on and I was like,
Well,
no, not this song. It was Ready to Go.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh,
yeah.
what the hell
Yeah,
is
this is
this?
different, yeah.
And that's also the first place that I heard. Well, first time I saw the video for Rada Mahata from Sepultura. Was
Okay,
on.
yeah.
That's also where I discovered Goldfinger.
Really?
I saw the video for Here in Your Bedroom on
It's
there.
so funny.
And I was just like, ooh,
You remember,
this is cool.
You could see the same video like 3 times in a row on that because people just call
call
up
it
and,
in,
yeah.
I'm going to let you know a little secret. 80% of that was pre-programmed.
Was it?
Yeah. So it was an 800 number, but it was a charge number.
Yeah.
yeah.
So you had to call in, and it was like 35 cents to vote,
Yeah.
and they charge the phone line.
Right.
A lot of it was a scam, but the box, in theory, Video Music Box would work
Yeah.
20% of the time. So you every once in a while you get like 3 of the same band or same
Yeah.
song, but most of the time it was playing whatever they programmed it to
Yeah.
play.
Really?
Yeah.
Bastards.
Now
I never called because I was a cheap bastard.
my last 2 of these I never did. The last 2 on these for me were discovered by that, and I think that is why I'm a pervert.
All right, we'll get there.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
Okay. But yeah, so that was pretty.
This
much
is, you
it.
know what it was? It was Europop, and we had
Yeah.
never heard it before.
We had never
Yes.
seen
and we were like,
anything
"What is this?"
And this is like, and the other part of it is like how we were talking about, like on the other, like the other lists and whatever, how like certain things I just never got into. This is
Yeah.
the closest I have ever gotten into being
Dance
into,
music.
into dance music. The closest.
this is
to
the
it.
closest. This is like almost EDM. Boom.
Which is funny because
yeah.
this is in the same style as Right Said Fred. I'm Too Sexy.
Yeah,
Which is Euro
yeah.
trash music.
Yeah.
And that's not Euro pop music, that's Euro trash music.
Yeah, but this is a.
What's
this
the
has-
difference?
Yeah, human pieces of garbage like Euro
Oh,
trash.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
No, but this has more of a rock and roll backbone to
Yes.
it than
Yeah.
Right Said Fred.
Oh,
did.
yeah, absolutely. And Right Said Fred is very much like Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a line of weird shit. But yeah, this is a really good song. I prefer Ready
The
to
other
Go.
one. Yeah.
Minus 5 points for not using Ready to Go.
I just always like this song better.
Hmm?
That it's just it.
I get it.
But it still screams mid '90s to me.
It does. It is very mid 90s and very cool. But not as cool as our next song, Fastball, The Way.
Yeah. Another one. If you ask Mary Jane what my favorite song is, she would probably say this.
Really?
Yeah. This song is another one that like talks to my soul.
Okay.
Back then, it was before kids.
Yep.
This song was what I wanted to do with my life. Was just there were so many
Wonder?
Yeah, there were so many times that I would be on the highway, and I did a lot of deliveries, right? When I was growing up, I used to work for an electronics store and whatnot, and I would have to deliver to like Jersey and Connecticut and stuff like that. And there were so many times if I was not in a company vehicle, I was on Route 80, and I'd have to go to like let's say exit like 45, which is like a 2-hour drive from like Queens, right? And I'm driving, and I'm going, what if I just keep going? You know?
I have this. I have this joke I say at work every day. I say I sit outside in my car. I turn it off and go. They'd never know I was here. I could just keep going.
Right?
And obviously I don't because I have a family that
Well,
I
that's
love and I wanna
that's
go home
different,
to.
and that's how the well, there's a true story to this, by the way. This was a true story. I forget the people's names, but it actually happened where they were they sick or did it? I remember it was two old people who just got up and drove,
They ran away.
and then but they crashed and died, I think.
Of course, because
Right.
nothing really has a happy ending
Right.
when it's written in a song.
But growing up, it never. When I was younger, it never hit me the kid part where the children woke up and they couldn't find. I think of that now, and I'm like, fuck! I don't want my kids to wake up and not find me. So I'm like, okay, I'm not running away anymore.
Yeah, no. We're past the point of wanting to run away.
But this song growing up was in the '90s is musically one of my favorite songs, and lyrically one of my favorite songs. And to this day, when it comes on, Mary Jane's like, "Oh, I'm not changing this," because she just knows.
Does it happen where the other person looks at you and goes, "I'm shutting the fuck up now"?
What do you mean?
There are some songs when I hear them going, I just look at my wife and go, "I'm going to stop talking now," so we can both enjoy this.
Yeah.
That's one of those things. Mike,
Yeah.
any comments on this song? You just sitting there
nothing.
staring at us like we're.
No, I was never super familiar with it. Like,
Yeah.
I,
And this is
there's
another-
There's nothing wrong with the song, but like, I was like, I'm pretty sure I've heard it in the
Yeah.
past, but I never really,
Yeah.
just never
And
registered.
I think this band had again another like one hit wonder.
yeah,
Yeah.
they
I
were
think
like,
they may have had another one, but it never got as big.
probably
And
like a 104.3 band again.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
K Rock. You keep saying 104.3, but I know.
I don't know why I never listened to K Rock.
Yeah,
the
that's
thing.
very weird.
It was just
But this, if I remember correctly, these guys are still around too.
I think so.
They just play.
Yeah.
And they close the set with this.
Up until a few years ago, until their guitars died, Sponge was still very active too.
Yeah.
And they just, I don't know
they
if they have been
played
since.
Blackthorn a while back. I
Yeah.
think.
Who?
Sponge.
Oh yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
I couldn't
mean,
go
like
because
a-
I had to work, but
Yeah.
yeah, I was very excited.
By
And
this point, like 8-9 years ago, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But
so let's go to the next song.
Angsty Mike for the win.
Actually, this is Angsty
This was-
Dave.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Oh,
thought
but
it
see,
was,
see what he knows because this is an Angsty Mike song.
It is.
Holy
And-
crap!
Everybody was angsty in the
Ooh,
end
this
of
is
their 9 inch.
this was
Nails.
angry. This is angry.
This is angry teenager years.
Yeah.
This,
Not even teenage. This is was it teenage? What year did this come out?
For him, it would be teenager.
yeah, it was teenage for
This
me.
96?
No, this was earlier. This was
95?
This was before Pretty Hate Machine. So I would
No.
say,
No.
not Pretty Hate Machine. I'm sorry, Downward Spiral.
Yes.
Yeah.
So before Downward Spiral was 94.
97.
So this was
That was
93,
probably
94.
94.
I
All
saw.
right, so I was a teenager.
yeah,
All right.
I saw Nine Inch Nails on that tour when I was still in high school.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you this. There's a lot to this album
Yeah.
that I did not know until I started looking it up. There's videos for every song,
I think I did know
and
that.
it's almost a snuff film. It's so
Yes.
perverse.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it was. A lot of it was never released. Parts of it were released as Terrible Lie, not Terrible Lie, Wish and
Opinion.
Pinion,
Yeah.
and Happiness and Slavery.
Yeah.
The rest of it is too graphic for any streaming service,
Uh-huh.
and it's 2 hours long.
Yeah.
It's movie length.
Well, the greatest thing about Nine Inch Nails is that there was so much. Like, what I liked is there was a reverse to this album. This was broken,
And then
there was a fixed.
The remixes.
right? And then there was, the downward spiral, and then further down the spiral. There was always and then there was the bootlegs. Have you ever heard
Yes.
the Rusty Nails?
Yes.
No.
It's people made them. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's the same DJ, but there's like I think it goes up to 3. My favorite is Rusty Nails 2, I believe.
And they're all remixes of Nine Inch Nails
And
songs.
they mesh into each other, and some of them mix in, and so good, and they're like 45 minutes long. And I found them, by the way, because you can't find them anywhere.
They're hard to find.
They're hard
very
to find. But I found somebody who put them on this app, Mixology, or some app. I have it. I'll show you after this. But I found Rusty Nails too, and I listened to it on the way home, and I got chills the whole time.
I actually, in listening to this, I listened to it on YouTube Music, and as it pops up, sometimes videos pop in between.
Yeah.
And one of the videos that popped in between was a live show from this year
Uh-huh.
of them playing Terrible Lie live with a real drummer.
Oh, the drum cam?
Yes.
That showed up on mine too.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that was actually like I was all into Nine Inch Nails when Downward Spiral
Yeah.
first came out, whatever. Then I saw him live. I'm like, okay, this is cool, but again, my thing with the electronics and
Yeah.
everything else. I want to see a band.
Yeah.
I don't want to see.
Well, wasn't it a band when they? I never saw Nine Inch
It
Nails live.
was.
It was, but it
But
wasn't.
there was a lot of loops, and it was just like one of those things, like the spot where we were sitting, because it was at Madison Square Garden. Like you could see the side of the stage,
Yeah.
and you just saw racks of sequencers running.
There's no.
And-
I don't think he's using a lot of sequencing
No,
now.
like
Yeah.
he wasn't touching a guitar
Right.
half the songs.
Right.
Like
He's
that
playing
video
guitar
you're
now.
talking about, he's playing guitar.
Yeah.
He has a real drummer. He had a drummer then.
Yeah.
But it was more like he had all the stuff going on, and the drummer's just playing along to it, accenting it.
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
The video
It's all
he's
for show.
talking about is more the Neil Peart school of drumming, where he's doing all the stuff, but he's hitting the triggers to trigger the thing
Yeah.
for this and this.
Yeah.
So it's more, to me, it's more organic that way.
And I am not a big fan of electronic music in general.
Same.
There is something about the way he programs
Yes.
music, the sequences he uses, the tones that he uses that are so
It's-
very much him.
It's dark.
Also, the rhythms that he uses. Like, if you go back to Pretty Hate Machine, there's a lot of Latin rhythms.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
In
And
that.
we've talked about the Latin influence on
Yeah.
on hard rock and heavy metal.
And which is the funny thing, because I had the tape, and I had the tape for Pretty Hate Machine, whatever, and I don't know how it happened. My grandmother got a hold of it, and she's like, "Oh, this is cool," and I'm like,
What?
"Okay."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay."
I think that's a good recommendation anytime.
I know, but I was just like, "Do you really realize what the guy's singing about?"
Do you really want to explain it to her?
No.
No, just enjoy the moment. Yeah, I love Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah.
Um,
Just the lyrics. I want to say a lyric, but I don't want to say
no,
it.
say it. Go
No.
ahead. No, from this song?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But I don't know. He talks about you think I'm having all the fun. You know me. I hate everyone. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Not that one. But
I
there
know
was,
the
there was
bad
another
luck.
one. Huh?
The one that ends with fist fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not afraid to say it. Please don't fist fuck each other. It's not safe.
And don't put a plastic bag over your head when
Please.
you're doing it either, please.
No jokester baiting, nor sitting on things made out of glass.
Oi.
Light bulbs, once they go in, they can't come out without
One-
surgical intervention.
And microphones
One-
are only meant to be spoken into.
One man, one jar.
Yeah,
Oh.
nobody wants a glass ass situation. Yeah.
And on
Anyway.
that note,
We're gonna move on to the next song for safety's sake. Empire by Queensryche.
waiting for the hatred from
Actually,
No.
I love this entire album.
yes,
My
This was-
only
yeah.
complaint
Oh, okay.
because I picked this song.
is it's not Another Rainy Night.
Okay,
But
I'll give you that.
I do love this song. The part in the middle where he talks about the
Fiscal
government
year,
the fiscal
yeah.
year 1987.
Yeah.
I could do without that,
I know.
but it's part of the song. It's part of the time.
It's
I see
also
what he
part
was
of the
building
content
towards.
of the song.
Yes, because it's saying that America is just another big empire.
Yeah.
and it's being controlled.
Yeah.
Um,
This was the only Queensryche album I ever bought, and I liked it. And then after this, I never, I listened to Mindcrime, but I never got into them. But I have nothing against them.
I was super into Operation Mindcrime when I finally heard it. I heard it
Same
late.
here.
Yeah.
This I loved.
Yeah.
They fell off in the 2000s with Q2K. and
Actually, they fell off before that.
Well,
they
I'm
fell
being-
off in the
here in the Now Frontier.
Here in the now. No, even oh, no, what was the one? Okay, no, that is here in the now frontier. I'm sorry.
I didn't mind that one. Q2K had moments. The slower stuff I liked.
Yeah, Promised Land was decent.
It was okay. And then when they switched singers to Todd LaTorre from Crimson, I hate that it rhymes.
I know.
Todd LaTorre from Crimson Glory. He switched from drums to vocals and took over vocals full time for Queensryche. It changed, and it was really good.
Well,
But this song is very indicative of their style in the 90s.
yeah,
And I think this is, I don't know if you know this, but they pissed off the guys who made the book, The Encyclopedia of Heavy Metal. Have you ever seen The Encyclopedia
No.
of Heavy Metal? It was released in the 2000s. Okay. So they decided, the Encyclopedia of Heavy Metal was doing research, and they were being brushed. They were trying to get Queensryche to give a comment or something, and they were brushing them off. And they you know what?
Jeff Tate's like, we're not heavy metal.
Queensryche
Yeah.
was playing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're not heavy metal. We're
Yeah.
progressive rock music.
All right.
And they said, okay. So they put the picture of him in the book.
Yeah.
Is him in boom boom shorts hitting a tambourine on his ass. It's his own fault for dressing like that and doing it.
Right.
but that's what they did to him. And it's only because of his bad attitude.
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff with Queensryche is due to Jeff Tate's bad attitude.
Yeah, a lot
of what
issues.
happened with Ronnie James Dio Stars with him, why he's only in for like 3 seconds, is because of his attitude. He came in with the rock star attitude, and Ronnie's like, maybe you pull it back a little.
Yeah.
And when Ronnie says pull it back,
Right.
pull it back.
You listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't listen.
Yeah.
Paul Shortino had more time, and he's in Rough Cut from Long Island.
Yeah.
He had more sound time than Jeff Tate.
Yeah.
There's not much to say about Queensryche other than that's some high vocals when he
Solid
screams.
musicianship.
This song is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Another Rainy Night is better. I don't care what you say.
No, it is. But I went with
This is what you felt.
Yeah.
And
Is that a song on the album? Because I don't remember
Yes.
that song, and
Yeah.
all I could think of is "I Love a Rainy Night." When you say that,
Yeah, no, it's much better.
then I love a rainy night.
Yeah, no, it's way better than
Yeah,
that.
it's way better than that.
God, I hate
I
you
think I
both
heard
so
that
much.
this morning on the freaking Yacht Rock station.
Okay, now this is something I want to talk about. Somebody to Shove by Soul Asylum.
Yes.
This isn't Misery.
What?
This isn't the song Misery.
What
Soul
about-
Asylum had a song called Misery.
Yeah.
I prefer that song to this.
Oh. Well, this
And
is
whatever song they had where all the missing children was that Runaway Train.
Runaway Train. Yeah.
That also was way better, even though it's depressing as fuck.
Well, but this is. I told you.
I know.
My first impression of bands.
Yeah.
This is actually a really interesting first impression because it sounds nothing like anything else
Right.
that they did.
Right. That they did afterwards.
Yeah.
But this reminds me of walking through the halls in high school, because
You're throwing kids into the lockers?
no.
Oh.
No, but I don't
thrown
know.
into
I
a
don't know
locker?
why, but it reminds me of walking past the gyms. You know, because they had a boys' gym and a girls'
3
gym.
guys named Jim.
Yeah, and for some reason, it just reminds me of that. I must have heard it on my Walkman as I was walking to class or something like that for the first time.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
And
about.
it's like that image is in my head when I hear this song, and it just sticks with me. It just reminds me of high school, and I never bought the album.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I never listened to them on purpose.
No, I know what you mean. It's kind of like when I was putting my list together with this. Sorry
Yeah.
to hijack you on it.
No, go ahead.
But it was oh my god, I think it was like the Offspring.
Okay.
Come Out and Play.
Yeah,
I don't know that when I thought '90s, that song popped into my head.
yeah,
I never listened to them.
yeah.
I didn't like it at the time.
Right.
But I went back and I listened to it. I'm like, oh, this is actually kind of cool.
Saw them live a few years ago. They fucking blew me away.
Yeah, but it's a,
Blew
it's a-
me away.
But it's the same thing like you with this. Like I remember hanging out on Francis Lewis
Right, it's
Boulevard
that one, yeah.
with Matt Subieski and John Lagargo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that being on the radio and this and that and all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those things that just sticks in the back
Yeah,
of the head.
yeah. It's that one scene. It's that one. I see. Something must have happened to make that stick. I don't
Yeah.
remember what it was, but that one scene plays in my head when I hear the song.
I get that.
Yeah.
For me, Plowed by Sponge has that. Trips to Hershey Park with my school used to do
Yeah.
a trip to Hershey Park every year in the spring.
Yeah,
And that bus ride, I wasn't even supposed to have a Walkman with me at the time.
Yeah.
And I was listening to that.
well, I'm sure in
When I got
school I
caught.
wasn't supposed to have one either, but you know.
And then Alanis Morissette, I talked about the trips to and from school with the Walkman that as the batteries died, it
batteries
slowed
dying.
down. So this turned into doom metal.
Oh, she turned into Barry White.
Oh no, she turned into straight up like Sleep. The band Sleep just. I fucking loved it. Yeah, and now we're about to make Noogie a little mad.
We're
Why?
about to start throwing things at him.
This is a me pick. Scream by Michael Jackson.
That was yours?
That's
Yes.
mine.
I got confused.
No,
This-
that
Sorry.
was not mine.
Okay.
So everybody likes Michael Jackson at some point.
I do.
Apparently
Yes.
you don't like this. Apparently you don't like this.
No.
I really like this song. Also,
It's okay.
Janet Jackson
Yes,
was in this.
she's on it.
Here's the
and-
thing.
No, on it. She was in the video,
Well,
and I think that was when I became a man.
No cable. Never saw the video.
Yeah, I know.
2. The music on it.
Go ahead.
To me, hits me like a bad remix of Rhythm Nation.
Okay.
I
And
definitely
here's
agree with
here's my other complaint. Michael Jackson screaming sounds like he's in pain.
Well, he probably was
No, but
I swear they sampled him on this song
from when he was
for
set on fire.
No. For South Park.
they probably did.
The time on it.
But
Probably.
yeah, the part that's supposed to be a scream.
Yeah, it's not.
No,
That's a wail of pain.
You name, dude, and I don't. Here's what I don't understand. You're right. You're naming the song "Scream." Get it? Make him scream until you get it right. It sounds like the. Did you ever watch the making of Thriller?
Yes.
The one part that sticks out in my head is when they tell him that he's hurting when he's turning into the werewolf, and he goes, "Ah!" And I'm like.
That's the problem.
That
That's
is
what he
not-
sounds like when he screams.
Yeah,
and they didn't
but
want to use that.
But that's what I'm saying is that the scream is like him going, "Ah!" And I'm like, that is not a scream.
Just remember, he doesn't remember what he sounds like when he screams because every time he screamed, he was being beaten by his dad, and he blocked it out.
Here we go. But the funny thing is that the rest
Joe
of the song,
Jackson,
the
the
rest
first man to successfully beat the black off his child.
the rest of the song is not terrible.
It just sounds like a bad remix to me. It's
Yeah.
like even musically.
Well, we're beating
It
Dave up
just
pretty good.
sounds-
I
Sounds-
actually don't mind. I'm not 100% familiar what this sounds like.
Yeah.
With the mute button in the corner on, because I just used to stare at this, going, I don't know what I'm feeling, but I know I have to do something about it urgently. Please don't choke yourself while masturbating.
To Janet Jackson.
Oh man, yeah. No, this is definitely one of those coming of age stories.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to make the obvious joke, but just seeing her and hearing, I love her voice.
Yeah.
There's very few times I've heard her voice and thought this sucks.
What year was this?
95, 96.
Was this late? Yeah.
It was later.
Oh man, but her voice is still her voice.
Yeah.
And there's something about the tone of her voice that gets me. And if I could have picked something from her solo album, from I think it's Anytime, Any Place.
Yeah.
I would have.
Why
But
didn't you?
I thought like this is the moment watching Video Music Box. I saw this. For
Oh, all
the
right.
first time.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I got you.
I think I'm a man now. I just couldn't help it. And I guess that's a weird thing, but there it is. Now you guys know that. You can't unknow it. Now we're going to talk about Cure Me or Kill Me by Gilby Clarke.
Yes.
Now, Gilby Clarke's the guitarist for Guns N' Roses,
He
right?
was the Izzy Stradlin's replacement.
Okay,
I don't think he ever recorded with Guns N' Roses. But
Really?
he was because
No?
Izzy played on Use Your Illusion 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then he left, and then Gilby Clarke came in.
Oh, so
the
there was
tour?
no albums afterwards.
There was
Chinese.
no.
democracy.
Chinese
There
arithmetic.
was the spaghetti incident or something like that. I want to say that had.
Did you hear what he fucking said?
No.
He said Chinese arithmetic. Racist. What the hell are you thinking?
No. I don't know the spaghetti incident. What
Yeah, the
fuck it
spaghetti
was.
incident was the one where they did the cover. It was a bunch of covers on it.
It was knocking on heaven's door and shit like that?
No, Not Gonna Heaven's Door was Use Your Illusions. Spaghetti Incident was like if I
Mr.
Don't Have
Brownstone
You,
and that
no,
stuff?
No, that's earlier. If I Don't Have You. They also did Sympathy for the Devil from the Stones. And
Yeah, I never liked Guns N' Roses
Okay.
to that extent.
yeah.
To listen to them on purpose.
Not even Appetite for Destruction.
Nope.
That fucking album changed music, dude.
Yeah.
I know it changed music, but
You may
what-
not like it, but that
did
fucking
nothing.
album changed
I'm not
music.
saying that they're bad. They're bad musicians. I'm not saying that they don't have. I'm not saying they don't deserve their etching in the Rock and Roll
Yeah.
Hall of Fame. Their etching in musicians' history. Axl Rose is a phenomenal singer. Well, was a phenomenal singer. Slash, he's a guitar hero. Literally, he's in Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Duff
Solid
is one
bass
of
player.
the most solid bass players in rock and roll. When I talked about the rock honors with is it Honoring Heart, and he played on half of the songs with Alice in Chains and Gretchen Wilson and Anna Nancy Wilson.
Yeah.
He's the reason it sounds so solid in the background. Him and the drummer.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
There's a very solid reason. But I don't like him.
Yeah.
I actually, and this is something I say about Ozzy's, the last album that had Slash and I think it was Slash and Duff and Chad Smith from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay.
I don't like their styles with Ozzy's voice. And I know you're not a huge Ozzy fan.
I've completely tapped out on it.
I know. And I tapped out because of that. Because up until then, that last album, Scream, that I felt was supposed to be the end of his career.
Yeah.
After that, they put out this album with Slash, Duff, and Chad Smith, and it felt like he was working with a cover band,
And
their styles don't match at all. And obviously Slash and Duff work well together. They're Velvet Revolver, and obviously Guns N' Roses. I love Velvet Revolver. I think I don't like Slash's voice for the style, but they have their pillar.
Slash's voice?
You mean Axl's voice?
Axl's voice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry.
I got
Which
confused
guy
too.
to hate?
I was like, did I miss something?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like Slash's voice. I don't like his speaking voice, but that's a different
Yeah.
problem. Slash's solo band, Miles Kennedy, awesome. I think it's just Axl.
Yeah, I can see that. And also, hindsight 2020, the baggage that came with Axl, with his attitude and all the problems that he had,
Yeah.
and the riot that he started, and the throwing things at this, and diving at this person.
Well,
and
the
whatever
throwing
else.
things he apologized for immediately. He's like, "Oh my god, I fucked up."
Now,
Yes, now. Back then he was just a dick.
yeah,
But now he's 80 years old. I don't know
Yeah.
how old he is.
Yeah.
But he's
But,
grown a lot.
yeah. But back to this song, the reason that I had thrown this one on there is, like I said, I was never a big fan of the grunge scene and all that. While everybody I knew was listening to Pearl Jam and this and that, I would go back and I was listening to Rat and I was listening to this, stuff like that. And I saw you shaking your head.
No, there's no
Okay.
disagreement. Actually, I've come to start to listen to Rat a little more open-mindedly now. Back then, it was just another hair band.
Yeah.
But they're not.
But they, like, some of those hair, like that era of bands that I was into, like Rat, like Shotgun Messiah, stuff like that. They had, like, when we were talking about the, like, what?
Please don't shoot yourself.
No, it's the name of a band.
I know,
It's the
yes.
name of a band.
I know.
The singer ended up playing bass for Manson later on.
Who's the singer?
Tim Skold.
Oh, okay. One of the many bases for Marilyn Manson,
Yeah.
because that band changed hands so many
Yeah.
times.
But like this was like it was one of those things that it came out, it was on the radio, and it was almost like a throwback to the stuff that was popular 5-6 years earlier. And I was like, okay, this is my kind of music. This is what I'm into. That's why
This is hard rock.
it's just straight ahead hard rock. It's got that little dirty edge to it. It's not it's not clean cut. You know what I mean? It's not.
But I think that's
cleaned
what
up in
hard
the
rock's
studio.
supposed to sound like.
Yeah, true.
Well, it's the
gotta
same
have
thing
an
I told you about, liking punk. It's
Yeah.
it's the unproduced part of it. You know, once you start getting, like I bring it up all the time. You play those grand things to me, and I'm like, oh my god, it just sounds like an epic.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
I do like epic stuff.
apparently.
It's funny. Like I'm in the same boat because when it comes to stuff like Rush, Dream Theater,
Yeah.
Spock's Beard, Flower Kings, Genesis, it's like old Genesis.
Yeah.
It's this whole
big, yeah,
it's like a fucking
yeah.
wall of sound beating you over the head with
Yeah.
a pile of bricks. But when I get to my rock stuff, I want it to have that little bit of
Right.
a sleaze to
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I want it to have an actual guitar solo, which a lot of stuff in the 90s lost
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
I think that's why I like Sponge, because they have that grit.
yeah.
They have that grit and that style through everything they did. Even the slower stuff has I call it the Texas sound, but it's really like a Midwest sound. It's really just it's that flow.
Yeah.
They've got solos. They have the I really call it the Texas sound because it's like just bordering on country guitar, but still that grit of hard rock, not heavy metal. And this Gilby Clarke I liked. I knew of his name, but I didn't know his place in Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
But he definitely got in there. There are so many members of Guns N' Roses after the Spaghetti
at that point,
incident.
they were all just freaking hired guns.
Except for, Buckethead and
He was a hired gun.
Bumblefoot.
Hired gun.
Yeah. And everyone else, because who remembers who else was in there until the band reformed, and then Axl joined AC/DC, and now I don't know what the hell's going on.
Although the funny thing is, when he was with AC/DC, all his attitude and lateness and everything gone.
Yeah.
out the
We
window.
talked about this.
Yes, we did.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They were not going to put up with any of that bullshit.
I don't remember if you guys talked about it here or I talked to one of you guys about it.
That's my life now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had no. I know they have no tolerance for that kind of
Yeah.
bullshit because they've been around way longer and they earned it. You know, Brian Johnson, he may have drank and done whatever, but he walked up to that stage on time and ready
Right.
to go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I like it. I can't knock it too much. And now for the next one, who picked "Blind" by Korn?
Me.
I know. Everyone thought it was me.
Why?
because I like
Bass.
I like that first two albums.
Same here. I
Yeah.
like their first album.
First three. I'll say three.
I would say first two. Well,
me too. Yeah,
1.5.
me too. Yeah, because I fell off once.
The first one
This
was
blew me
a
away.
little.
well, the first
The
one.
first
had-
one
I'm
was
sorry,
a
I'm sorry.
little- oh.
Second was a little
Yeah.
hit and miss. Which was the one where they covered Word Up on?
That was the third.
Third?
I was gone.
Third or
by-
fourth.
Okay.
I was gone by then.
I heard it on the radio.
Yeah.
I heard it somewhere, and I was just like,
No,
what
this-
the fuck?
This song, first song on the album,
And
obviously,
the first time you heard Korn.
and the first time you heard Korn, and that beginning. All it takes is that beginning.
Well, it has one of the things that has become, especially for new metal, a standard, which was the
5 and 6 string bass.
5 and 6 string bass and the
Down tuning.
7 string
String
guitars,
guitars.
Uh-huh.
and the 808 drum hit.
Yeah,
That 808 drum drop, that
Uh-huh.
boom,
yeah,
that is so indicative of that type of metal.
right. But not even that. Just the ride and the you didn't know where the fuck it was going,
And now they
and then it comes in and you're just like literally, are you ready?
yep.
He was just saying, yeah, here we go.
There we go.
And
Hold
and
on
then
to
it
your butthole.
hits you. You talk about the wall of sound.
Yeah.
That hits you with a wall, and I'm like, holy! You did. That was again another type of music where you heard a song,
That
and
was-
it changed the style. You're like, what the?
That was the
what
birth
the
of nu metal.
Actual fuck is this?
That
Yeah.
was the we talked about rap rock before, but that is new metal. That
Yeah.
was the
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
like the day that came out. That was like, oh, we have a whole new style
Yeah.
here, and
that was
they-
the big bang. That start was
Yeah.
it started it.
yeah,
Boom.
and then we got Limp Bizkit, and we all started regretting having no input. Yeah, I have a very big love relationship with the first two albums.
Yeah.
because they're not all amazing songs. A lot of it is now controversial because of the
subject matter and the
subject
right,
matter
and
the
the
titles.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, in the first album, on one of their songs, they're talking about playing Twist.
Yes.
He's like,
Yes.
"Oh, we should put Twist on this," and that's the next
Yeah.
album. They
Yeah,
ended
that
up
was on
doing
the
on the
second
next album.
Yeah.
That one song you're talking about, though.
Is a Clown? I think that's
No,
That's the
the one with the bad word.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. No, it was
Spelled wrong.
Yeah.
Clown was
But-
the one that talks about Twist.
Yeah,
Yeah. But that song itself, he's saying it, but you can hear the pain in his voice
Yes,
saying it.
of
because-
being called that.
Right. It's not. They're not using the word
As an
Derogatory,
in a
right?
derogatory word.
Right.
It's like this
It's
is what
this
you're
is what
call-
you called me.
This is what you're calling me. So
Right.
If you listen to interviews about it, he does say it's like we changed the lettering because that's how people say it, not how I
Right.
You know.
Right.
yeah.
But
Which
it's just
is a big
it's those songs because then it became Freak on a Leash and it's like dang, it got
Yeah,
like
it got
dancey. Yeah. And I was like, hey.
It almost got. We've all heard.
It got glamorized.
Lowrider
They,
by,
they turned into mall rock.
Yeah.
I actually felt like you ever heard Lowrider by War?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's but it's that like they were trying to go that way.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like they were trying to get that style while doing their own thing.
Right.
Not necessarily doing it good,
Uh-huh.
but when you listen to like Adidas,
Yeah.
and we all heard that as kids. Oh, it's all day a dream about sex.
Yeah.
Which not what Adidas means.
Right.
Have I mentioned this before?
I don't know. Have you?
Okay, so Adidas was founded in Nazi Germany.
I think you have
Yes.
said this, but go ahead.
Two brothers.
Two
No,
bro-
no,
yeah.
it was a father, and then he left it to the two brothers.
and they split it was
what Adidas and Puma.
Adidas and Puma. Adidas actually is short for Adi Dassler.
Okay.
Adolf Dassler is the founder of Adidas.
Okay.
They made footwear for the Reichstag.
Oh.
Puma also made footwear for the Reichstag. So
Right.
neither one of them are innocent.
Yeah.
But yeah, these guys were founded in Nazi Germany.
All right.
Oh, so was Fanta.
Yeah.
It was a
Volkswagen.
Volkswagen,
Yeah.
Hugo Boss. Yeah. Enjoy your stuff, people.
We're just gonna ruin
So-
everything for
So
you
when
today.
Kanye got dropped from Adidas for saying stuff, really, I was like, I'm surprised they took a stance on this.
Actually, for me, it was the other way around. I was like, I'm surprised they waited this long to take a stand on it, just because of the
Their history, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Blind by Korn, and that first album was such a
Yeah.
It was a game changer.
Yeah.
It's like when we think about Smells Like Teen Spirit for Nirvana,
Right.
they're the ones that burst onto the scene and changed everything. AC/DC changed a lot of music, even though they were very much a straightforward rock band. There weren't a lot of bands out there doing that.
Right.
No.
Rush was progressive. They were the progressive guys.
Yeah.
Well, they actually started more like a blues
Did they?
blues band.
Yeah.
And that's when we talk about Judas Priest.
Yeah.
The guys who started
God.
the guys who
Yeah.
started modern
Yeah.
leather
Heavy
heavy metal.
metal.
Well,
Yeah.
Neil Peart wasn't the original drummer for Rush.
Really?
It was John Rutsey.
I was
and-
going to make up a name.
Yeah, and he played on the
You
first.
could have said John Rutsey, and I would have been like, okay.
Yeah, no, he played on the
John
first.
Rutsey.
He played on the first album, but
Yeah.
I don't think he toured. And then for whatever reason, like he was having health issues, so he wasn't able to go on the road
Yeah.
and do everything. And they had auditions, and Neil Peart came in, and he just took them
Holy
like because they were
crap.
like a straight ahead blues rock band,
Right.
Like I'm like. It feels like they're like almost like I don't want to say like a Led Zeppelin light, but
Uh-huh.
like that style.
Right.
And then he came in, and then it was like woof,
Yeah.
completely
yeah.
different.
Yeah. Well,
Sometimes a single member change changes
Now
the
imagine-
direction of music.
imagine if he didn't try out or he didn't get the job, right? Would he be nowhere? Would he be one of those guys who were great and just never made it?
Or would he have found another band and built
I don't know.
something?
You know, it's
I-
so weird.
He actually, it's so long that Di can correct me on this, but it's so long since I've like read his biography and all that stuff. I know he started playing drums. He was living in Canada. He moved to England for a while.
Yeah.
Tried it out over there, and it didn't work out. And he came back, and I think he was kind of he gave up on being in the big. Again, I'm 99% of the time I'm going to be wrong with this,
Right.
But he probably he was whatever, and then he hooked up with these guys, and it just snowballed from there.
Well, when you
Because
think
some
about
station in like Cleveland or something like that picked up one of their songs and
Yeah.
just played it, and then people wanted to hear it, and then it just rolled from there.
see, when it comes to what if a member of a band didn't go that way?
Right.
Would they become famous? We know bands that happened to.
Yeah.
Tony Iommi. Tony Iommi was supposed to join Deep Purple.
Yeah.
And then sliced the tips of his fingers off and had to learn how to play guitar all over again. They left without him, got famous on their own, and he founded Black Sabbath.
Yeah. Les Claypool.
Les Claypool, what was he?
He
part of?
tried out for Metallica,
Everybody tried out for Metallica at one point.
but then now he's in Primus.
yes, he started Primus.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, he could have been in Metallica, but
according
he's
to
still...
Hulk Hogan, he tried out for Metallica too.
Yeah,
Christ.
Lars called him up.
Yeah. Oh God,
And,
I
and,
hate
Hulk,
Terry.
and Hulk Hogan also missed out on the Hulk Hogan grill
the Hulk Hogan grill instead of the George Foreman
instead
grill.
of George Foreman grill. But
He's
he missed
he's
the
like
phone
a he's
call.
like a pathological liar, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh God, one day I'm
It's-
going to play the lies of
it's
Hulk
fucking
Hogan for you.
hysterical.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
It's
brutal.
hysterical.
Anyway, so
Korn.
Yeah. So Korn. Okay, 3 drummers they've had in their entire career. Dave Silvera. Terry Bozzio.
I forgot about
Terry
that.
Bozzio.
Isn't that Hulk Hogan?
No, that's
Terry
Terry Bollea. Terry Bozzio, and now they have
Oh my god.
Ray Luzier.
Thank you.
They've had 2 bassists,
Uh-huh.
Fieldy and Ryan Martini from Mudvayne.
Okay.
Ryan Martini, the Berber Ding guy. I swear to God,
I
that's how
love
people
that
know.
song, by the way.
I do
Dig,
too.
Dig is awesome.
They had a lot of good stuff in the first 2 albums.
Yeah.
I have a lot of complaints about their later stuff, and hell yeah. But Ryan Martini is a very much classically trained instrument player, and you get him to play, he just plays.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys, body paint. He's ripped and plays. Super talented, and he played it his way when
Yeah.
he played it live. They didn't record with him because Fieldy came back, and I think they had another guitarist when Brian Head left, and I forget who it was.
I have no
And then
idea.
he came back.
I fell off from them.
The only person to never rejoin the band was Dave Silvera,
Yeah.
and he's in another band now, so he doesn't give a shit.
And the drummer they have now, Ray Luzier, is a fucking animal.
Yeah.
Yes, he plays
Animal.
with KXM.
Yes, KXM is like one of those like super group kind of things.
Okay.
I don't think they've ever played a live show, but they have like 3 albums out, I
Yeah.
think.
Who's in it?
And George Lynch of Lynch Mob
Yeah.
and Dokken on guitar
All right.
and
Doug
Doug
Pinnick.
Pinnick of King's X on bass and
Oh, okay.
vocals. And,
And Ray
I've
Luzier on drums.
I've seen like drum clinic stuff of Ray Luzier playing Korn songs.
Yeah.
So different.
Yeah.
So much better. Oh my god.
It's a different. He plays a completely different style of drumming.
Yeah.
It's really awesome. And to round out Korn, they're still going.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan, but take a listen. If you like them, add them to the collection. If not,
You try.
show them to somebody else. So now the last song. Now, I expected somebody to hate me for this.
That was yours?
Move It Like This is K7.
Yes.
This
I
is...
thought it was yours.
Nope.
I hate that he did this.
'Cause
I don't
did
hate
get-
it.
Did I get it to it first?
No. When I thought 90s, and this is just dumb me, these are the songs that popped into my head. The high school kind of, but I never thought of the
90s dance stuff?
dancey kind of rappy stuff, which I did in previous lists. But you know, I don't remember when we picked the 90s, but yeah, this played and I went, "You son of a bitch." And it wasn't a bad son of a bitch. It was damn. And I listened to this song probably 5 times in a row
It's so good.
cuz I could have went TKA.
Now, you're the only one who knows that, I think.
What?
That K7 comes from TKA.
Yes.
So,
Mary Jane knows him.
okay, so K7 is actually one guy.
Yes.
He was a member of TKA. TKA had a hit in...
They had a couple hits.
Well, they had more than one hit, but...
Little fact, the first live show I ever went to when I was 15 was TKA. My first live concert was TKA at Avante's on Bell Boulevard.
Raw?
Raw.
I know.
So TKA
It was a teen night. I was
had
15.
Louder
Or was
Than
it
Love.
camouflage?
Huh? No, it was Avante's.
So TKA had Louder Than Love, and I think two
Maria.
others. Maria, that's right. This is the Puerto Rican in me.
God damn it. I'm going to go on my way home. I'm going to be listening to that.
I
on
could
the-
point
on
at the house that I heard this
BQE.
in because it was the neighbors, two across and 4 down.
Yeah.
They and the block parties. They'd set up the big speakers and they'd play music.
Yeah.
And TKA was always part of that.
Right.
And then when K7
Yeah.
came out, everybody's heard a K7 song. They don't realize they have.
Right. Come, baby, come.
Come Baby Come from most recently the Suicide Squad, the first one, the elevator fight with Harley Quinn. The entire scene is done to her beating the shit out of people to Come Baby Come.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
And by the way, Suicide Squad, there was a 21 Pilots song in there. And you said you hated them.
I do.
Heathens.
I do hate them. What?
Heathens.
Oh, good.
That was 21 Pilots.
Good. I hope they fell into hell.
Bastard.
So, K7 was a 90s freestyle. There's a lot of singing.
Yeah.
This is less singing, except for the midsection and the end.
Yeah.
And that's when you actually hear who it is, because he's actually singing instead of basically rapping before that. This is one of those music videos. I think it was part of my sexual awakening. Because this is another video music box. Come Baby Come in this.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there staring at the screen, mouth agape, going, I don't know what I'm feeling. I don't know what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And it's stuck in my head forever.
Yeah. I can't complain about
I
this
love
at
this
all.
song more than Come Baby Come. And even though the
Yes, it's a much better song.
And even though the obvious innuendo is there,
Yeah.
this is better.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%. I would. This is one of those I'll die on the hill that this is
Yeah.
a better song.
Oh, no.
It's so good.
How'd you feel about it, Mike?
Nothing.
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 I got nothing.
This is like
This-
I
yeah,
said,
it's out of your
this is
yeah.
this is out of my wheelhouse. The only thing I was like, was this one of those songs they played at Breffany's when we used to go?
Probably.
There? Yeah, that's the first
Yeah.
thing. That's the first thing I thought of when
Yeah.
I heard it. I was like,
Ooh,
oh,
we could do
Breffany's.
just a 90s club day.
Yeah, we could. 90s club, 80s freestyle.
Oh, man.
We have whatever time we have left in the universe to keep doing this. I have no set record on this. Michael, join us when he feels like.
Yeah.
The door is always open because
Thank you, gentlemen.
you're the reason this started. You brought me and Mike together. And he said to me,
to
"We
roll
should start
dice."
a podcast." And I went, yes.
Yes,
Because
yes.
I don't believe in half measures. I forget where that comes. There's a person who says no half measures.
Yes, there is. I don't know who it
And
is,
I
though.
forget who it was. And when I heard it, I'm like, you can't do anything halfway.
Yeah.
And I know do or do not, there is no try in
Yeah.
Star Wars. But it's been a very big part of my life to when I say I want to do something, I try to do it. And, succeed or fail, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. And this
And
has been fun.
This has been fun. And I don't, at this point, I don't care. Just sitting across from you and sitting across from you, I've always had fun talking to you.
Uh-huh.
And more recently, we've had a blast doing this.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
want to keep this going.
Yeah.
Find weird new topics. We'll find
Yeah.
songs we hate to bring to each other.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll do a hate.
Now, hate that I put stuff that you would hate, or I put stuff that I hate that you.
You put stuff that you hate. You put stuff
No,
that I hate.
that's like freaking masochistic.
I
Just-
honestly think that a little bit of self-torture will bring out the best
Yeah.
in us.
Yeah, it would make it. Imagine that.
Please don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, but imagine us just yelling at ourselves. I hated that I put this on the list.
I'm an idiot. What did I think?
I
I'm so
I had to listen to this song over and over again.
I've told you what happens when I do something stupid on my own.
What?
I'll be like, and somebody go, what's the matter? I'm going, I'm stupid. And they're like, stop it. I'm like, shut up, I'm stupid.
Yeah,
So, and on that note, 90s style has been completed.
that's it.
We hope to hear more from you guys. We have the website, which is,
HitTheStagePodcast.com.
and you can catch us on Instagram. I am basher.exe.
I am Nugs29, and we also have a Hit the Stage podcast
That's right.
Instagram. It's on the website. If you go down, I think on the first page,
Main page, scroll down.
it'll show you the most recent Instagrams. Tell your friends, tell people about us. Let's grow this thing a little
Spread
bit.
the love.
Yeah, man.
Please don't spread the love on public places. I'm looking at you, Mike. What a man, another man, and two chickens do in their privacy is their own deal. But I'm watching you.
Chickens.
Cats.
Yes.
That's
Go ahead.
mean. Well, the band was Unlucky Fried Kittens.
It was.
Yes.
Thanks.
Was wait. Were you who did I told somebody recently what UFK stood for and they were shocked. Was it you?
No. I've known for a very long time.
I told somebody recently what UFK stood for.
Was
and
it another fat person?
Like,
We're
what?
we all look alike.
I can't remember. Anyway, let's wrap this one up.
So, guys, take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. We love you.
Hail Halford.
Hail Halford.
Oh.
Later.